Pattern drafting is very easy to make and it serves as a guide to any outfit you want to make. All you need to do is just place it on your fabrics and you're good to go. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Splendor of the Splendor Glam, and today's video will be all about pattern drafting for a short pant. This video will be easy and well detailed as possible. Keep watching. First things first, I'll be taking out my vertical measurement to draw out all my horizontal line. So my starting point is to draw out my waistline, which I just did, and then the next thing is to measure my short length. For me, I'll be using 18 inches, so I just marked out 2 points there for my short length, 18, and then I'll extend the tape to the front to get 18 inches as well. So I'll connect the 2 points together using my pattern master. As you can see, after connecting it together, I will just label that line the hem line. So the next thing I'll be doing is to measure my crotch measurement on the pattern paper. For me, it is 11 inches. I'll be showing you guys how to take your crotch measurement on the screen. So I'll just extend my tape to the front there and use my pattern master to connect the 2 points together and label it the crotch line. So after labeling it, I will also label my waistline like so. The next thing is to take my thigh measurement. The thigh measurement is usually 3 inches from your crotch line. That's the standard. So I just mark 3 inches from the crotch line like so, and then use my pattern master to connect the 2 points together like so, and then label it the thigh line. So I've done that. The next thing I'll be doing is to take my hip measurement. My hip measurement from my waist is 9 inches. I'll just mark 9 inches there and mark it again, then use my pattern master to connect the 2 points together like so. So after connecting it, I'll just label it the hip line. The next thing I'll be doing is to impute all my horizontal measurement. I'll be starting with the hip because the hip has the largest circumference. So for me, my hips is 44 inches. 44 plus 1 inch is allowance equal to 45. 45 divided by 4 gives me 11 1/4. So I'll just measure 11 1/4 on my hip line like so. So after doing that, I'll measure the same figure on my waistline. That's the hip measurement I just got. I'll measure it on my waistline, and I'll also measure it on my crotch line like so. So after measuring it on my crotch line, I'll just square it up using my pattern master like so. So the next thing I'll be doing is to mark my waist measurement. For me, my waist is 33 inches. So 33 inches divided by 4 equal to 8 1/4. I'll be adding 1 inch that allowance, and then add 0.5 inch is allowance equal to 9.5 inches. So I'll just mark that on the waistline like so, and then I'll use my pattern master to connect the point from the waist to the hip line to get the hip curve. So guys, please do well to subscribe to this channel, like our videos and share with your friends. Please turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I post new videos. The next thing I'll be doing is to get my crotch measurements. So to get the crotch, you divide your hip measurement by 4. For me it is 11 1/4 divided by 4 gives me 2 3/4, or you just add the 2 3/4 to your hip measurement and just mark it on your crotch line. So when you do that figure, it gives you 14 inches. Then you just mark it on your crotch line like so. For me, I'll be marking it there. My crotch line is a bit short, so I'll be extending it out a bit. So I'll just extend it like this a bit. And then the next thing I'll be doing to get my crotch curve, I'll be measuring that midpoint on this video I'll be extending it out by 1.5 inch. So that's the point I'll be connecting the crotch line to the hip line to get the crotch curve. So you just trace it out smoothly and ensure it curves very well. So you just trace it out like so. So guys, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to get the midpoint on my crotch line. This is to enable us to shape our short pant. So the midpoint for my crotch line is 7. I'll just mark that 7 on the thigh line and also on the hip line, as well as on the waist line, and I'll be repeating the same thing on the hem line. So after doing that, what I'm going to be doing next is to connect all those points together with a straight line. That will give me my center line, as you can see. So after connecting it, the next thing I'll be doing is to shape my short. And to do that, I'll be imputing my thigh measurement. For me, my thigh measurement is 25 inches. 25 inches divided by 2 will give me 12.5 inches. So I'll mark 12.5 inches on the thigh line using the center line there. I'll find the half of 12.5. I'll place it on that center line and just mark it on my thigh line, as you can see. I'll repeat the same thing for the hem line. I'll use my center line there to get the middle of my hem and just mark it on the hem line, as you can see. So the next thing I am going to be doing is to connect the measurement I have marked on my thigh line to my hip line, as you can see. And then on the other side, I'll be marking it from the hem to the crotch line. The next thing I'll be doing is to impute my dart measurement. The standard dart measurement is 4 inches depth, but for this tutorial I'll be marking out 1.5 inch because I want to put a band on this short. So I'll just mark 4 inches like so, and then I'll use my pattern master to rule out the point I have marked for my band, as you can see. So having done this, I'll just label that side so I remember. And then for the dart width, I'll mark 1/2 inch on both sides of the center line and just connect it to the dart depth I had marked earlier. I'll just show you guys again for emphasis and then connect the 3 points together like this. So having done this, so the next thing I'll be doing is to add up my seam allowance. For this short, I'll be adding up 2 inches seam allowance, as you can see. So you have to connect it slantly by the time you're connecting, as you can see. because at the point of folding you do not want to have your fabric short. So I'll just connect it like this and box it up under. So after doing that, guys, I'll be adding up ½ inch round my pattern, as you can see. Okay, so this is it, guys. The next thing, I'm going to be cutting out my pattern, my draft. I'll be cutting it out from my pattern paper. So this is the front pattern, and I'll be placing this right away on our back pattern paper. So I'll be extending the crotch line by 2 inches, and then I'll be going down on that point by ½ inch. As you can see, haven't done this. I'll just show you. This is 2 inches, and then I'll go down by ½ inch. Then I'll connect that with a straight line to the front crotch line, like so. So at the midpoint where we got our crotch curve on the front pattern, for the back I'll be going out by 2 inches. This is exactly on our seam allowance for the front pattern. So the next thing I'll be doing is to find the midpoint on the dart line that is towards the crotch line. So that's the midpoint there, and then on that point I'll be going up by the crotch extension measurement we had at the front pattern. For me it was 2 3/4. So now I'll be connecting these 2 points together, as you can see, and then find a way to connect it to the midpoint gotten upward on the waistline. So for this one, I'll just use my pattern master to connect it like so. So guys, please subscribe to my channel, share, like our videos, and please turn on the notification bell to get notified. So I'll just trace it some more, as you can see. Then the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'll be extending my waistline. Like I said earlier, I created a space for band on this short, but I didn't cut it off because I want to use this pattern as well for shorts that I won't be needing a band for. So I extended the waistline out there, and then I'll take my waist measurement for the front pattern. For me it was 9.5, so I'll just take that 9.5 from the new waist line now that I marked on the back. I'll just mark it like that, and then I'll connect the 2 points together to give me my new waist line, like so. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to connect that point on the waistline to the hip line, like you can see. So that gives me my hip line for the back, and then I'll be connecting the points for the crotch line to my seam line. So this is it. I'm just connecting it, and after connecting it, I'll be marking out some very important points from the front pattern. I'll just mark it on the back, and I'll connect it as well. So I'll just connect it like this. I'll connect it the hip line as well, and then I'll just leave that one. I'll use measurements to get the band for the back. So I'll neatly remove my front pattern so I don't tear it. So I'll just remove it neatly like this, and then I'll keep it aside. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to connect the seam line for the back. So I'll also trace the hemline like this, then the tie line as well. I'm just trying to connect the important points that I marked from the front pattern. So I'll also connect the crotch line like this. So after doing that, the next thing I'll be doing is to get my dart for the back. The standard measurement for the back dart is 5 inches depth. So this center line that I got for the front pattern, I'm trying to also mark it for the back pattern because it's on that line that I'll be marking my back dart. So I haven't done that. I'll be marking the dart depth, which is 5 inches. So I'm just trying to ensure that my center line is accurate because of the slants on the back pattern. So I've marked it. Now I'm trying to confirm the band measurement. For the front is 1.5, so I'll just mark 1.5 for the back as well. I'll mark it on the 3 sides because of the slant nature of the back. So after marking it, I'll just connect the points together to get my back band. So I'm trying to get the midpoint for the back like this. So having done that, I'll get the dart width. I'll be going by 1/2 inch on both sides, and then I'll connect the 3 points together like I did on the front pattern. So this is it for the back pattern, and then I'll just add 1/2 inch on the pattern. This is for seam allowance. I know I've added that on the front, so I'm just trying to show the illustration for the back so you guys can remember. Should in case you use the front like my own, if you use the front pattern to trace the back like I did, then there's no need for this additional 1/2 inch seam allowance. So the next thing is just to cut it out like I did for the front pattern. I'll just indicate band there so I don't forget. This is it, guys. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in my next video. Bye.